The Digital Circus Awards just keeps getting wilder every day, and this new update seriously drove me crazy. Looks like Kane really wants to win, but honestly, even with all these little manipulations, it doesn't look like they're gonna help him that much. Also, if you remember the first few hours after voting opened, it was kinda shocking to see that Kinger was ranked higher than Pomni by the fans, and the fact that Regata was basically at the bottom really bugged me. But now things seem to have balanced out a bit, and Pomni climbed her way to the top, which honestly feels totally fair. She definitely deserves that top spot, and I don't think anyone would be too surprised if she ends up winning. But what's really got me hooked is watching her go head-to-head with Jax for that #1 position. While Regata is still stuck near the bottom, right now she's only about 800 votes ahead of Zubul. And it's pretty easy to understand why Zubul's ranked so low. We barely saw her in the early episodes, and fans only really started paying attention after episode 3. But Regata being that low, that was a total shock for me. Honestly, it doesn't feel all that fair because she's actually super important and one of the most interesting characters when you really think about her backstory and everything she's going through. Lately, there's been way too much hate thrown at this character. Like even in that secret video, Kane didn't let her finish her mini interview properly, and now most fans are just straight up ignoring her. That really got me thinking, so I decided to dig deep into this whole thing, and yeah, I actually found all the answers about why this is happening and what's probably coming next. Lately, there's been more and more hate toward Regata, and I keep seeing comments like, "I'm glad more people are catching on to the fact that Regata sucks," or "She's so dumb looking. I hate her so much. I hate Regata." And if these users are being, let's say, relatively mild, there are tons of posts that go way harder, like, "I actually can't stand Regata. Ever since episode 1, I hate her. I hate her so much, and I don't know why. Twizzler hair having ass." And obviously all of this started after the events we saw in episode 5. It all began with that stargazing scene where Regata walked up to Jax and Pomni, and as usual, started scolding Jax for his behavior. But then she said the thing we all remember, she brought up Jax's best friend. But up to that point, none of the fans really had any issues with our doll, not until that bar scene where Regata started acting real weird.
Hey, Pomni! Remember when Kaufmo smashed me against the walls and I got all jumbled up? All things considered, that was pretty funny, right?
No.
Oh, yeah, no. Sorry, that was probably pretty traumatic for you.
And just like that, the growing bond between Jax and Pomni drove Regata into a full-on meltdown, perfectly shown in that scene. Jax ended up catching some heat too, cause yeah, he was the main trigger for that burst of aggression. And Pomni, who was just trying to calm Regata down, got dragged into it too. That's exactly when the mass bullying of Regata kicked off. And if those earlier posts I showed you just came off as personal hate towards her, this next one, way more alarming. Regata sucks, I hope she abstracts. That's messed up. No matter how you feel about a character, wishing something like that on them is just not okay. I mean, yeah, I've got a character I seriously can't stand too, but I'd never wish them something like that. And now I'm curious, can you guess who I'm talking about? Drop your guesses in the comments. Gooseworx just added fuel to the fire herself. When asked, will Regata be okay after episode 5, she just replied with a simple, huh. And since we remember her mental state at the end of episode 5, it really seems like Regata might abstract in episode 6, but more on that in the next part of the video. Meanwhile, let's not forget, I said this drama involves not just Regata, but Jax too, and that's where it gets wild. With all the recent hate around Regata, you can see more and more posts throwing serious shade at Jax, like, "Hate that stupid purple rabbit from the amazing Digital Circus. Hope to God he dies, bruh. Can't stand to see my enemies succeed and live. Jax. Regata, kill that thing, I support you." It's clear the fandoms split into two camps fighting each other. Some hype Jax for his honesty and realness, especially after learning about Ribbit, and how episode 5 made Jax the most popular character in Digital Circus. Meanwhile, those same fans trash Regata, calling for her to be erased from the show. The other side hates Jax hard, calling him the biggest jerk in the circus and seeing Regata as the most positive, kind, and genuine character. Which side are you on? Really curious to hear your thoughts. And on top of all that, Goose posted on Blue Sky saying, "Don't get me wrong, Jax is still my favorite character, but some of you guys make too many excuses for his behavior. He has reasons for why he acts the way he does, but he's still not a good person." This post kind of confirms we shouldn't take Jax as the good guy he seemed to be in episode 5, and there's another leak from Gooseworx that backs this up, but more on that real soon. And here we come to the heart of the new drama, and many are sure it's all about misogyny. I've seen tons of posts like this one. Every female character who displays any sort of complex emotion will be called an abuser at this point. It's like the misogynistic, unpreventable event for every fandom at this point. Or, I hate seeing so many people dog on Regata for being fake. She's not fake, she's optimistic, and all she's ever done is be kind and sweet to the rest of the cast, and only acts in ways to benefit everyone, but yet she ends up isolated and underappreciated. I swear, if she abstracts. Opinions like this are popping up more and more on X, Reddit, and beyond. Misogyny or any kind of hate based on prejudice is disgusting, but should we see misogyny as the only reason behind this drama? I don't think so. I don't rule it out as a cause, but this whole situation needs to be looked at from every angle, not just blamed solely on misogyny. Besides that, this drama has favoritism too, and like I said before, after episode 5 dropped, Jax became the most popular character in the digital circus again, so naturally he's got the biggest fan base. Since episode 5 basically pits Jax and Regata against each other, it's only logical that fans crazy about one will hate the other. Also, if we remember what Regata was like at the start of the show, and what she turned into later, it's no surprise many fans started doubting her character, and this scene just won't leave my mind.
Can you move?
Yo, Jax. I hate you, but I don't want you to hate me. Is that weird?
You're drunk or something.
Some weird double standards mixed with sudden changes in behavior, plus a bit of misogyny and favoritism. That's what sparked this nasty drama centered around Regata. But what's going to happen to her in episode 6, and why might this really be the end for her? Let's recall one scene from episode 5.
I'm sorry, Pomni. That wasn't very cool of me.
It's fine.
No apologies for me? This is so sad.
I'm sorry, Jax, for bringing up that thing earlier.
I think a lot of people noticed that weird glitch on her hair, and yeah, that's really strange. Some X users noticed that people arguing whether Regata's hair glitch was a rendering error or a sign she's gonna abstract. She will, but y'all are looking in the wrong place. That face when Jax says the budding friendship thing isn't anger or even jealousy, it's horror. Her time's running out. Honestly, I totally agree with the post's author, cause throughout the whole digital circus, it kind of felt like this was coming. The first 3 episodes showed Regata as a positive, upbeat character. Episode 4 peeled back a bit of her real self, and episode 5 basically revealed her fully. So it kinda makes sense. Episode 6 might lead to that kind of ending. But you remember I said at the start that this is just the beginning of the drama, and episode 6 will only make it bigger and take it to a whole new level. And here's that Gooseworx leak I mentioned. From it, we clearly get that something big will happen in episode 6, and since Jax is going to be the main focus there, I'm pretty sure this joke will be said by him. And considering everything we talked about today, it's easy to guess it'll be aimed right at Regata, which in turn will definitely spark a whole new wave of drama. This theory that Regata might really become the kind of monster Kaufmo turned into is backed not just by her totally shattered mental state and complete loneliness, which we saw not only in the final scene of episode 5, but also in that teaser that dropped just 20 hours after release. Regata's isolated and mentally broken, and that alone is already a massive red flag for something terrible. But on top of that, we also gotta consider Ribbit, who could theoretically show up in the new episode, and if Kane suddenly decides to restore him to sanity, the number of circus residents might go over the limit. And when that happens, someone's gonna have to be sent to the basement, and judging by everything we've seen so far, it's probably gonna be Regata. Any kind of drama around the amazing digital circus is honestly awful and totally uncalled for, because at the end of the day, TADC is just a show, and it was never meant to bring anything negative. And finally, I just want to share my own take on this whole award thing. If Pomni ends up taking first place and actually wins, I'll be genuinely happy, because out of everyone, she really deserves it the most. Jax is definitely right behind her though, like he's basically the spark that keeps the amazing digital circus from turning into some boring monotone mess. And if I were the one making the rankings, Regata would probably land in 3rd place, while everyone else would share 4th, and our glorious ringmaster Kane would be bringing up the rear of the list. Let me know what you think in the comments, and see you soon.